Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to a CI Chit Chat. Mitchell Hora here with you. Excuse me. Out on the road, we're at the Iowa RFA conference here today in Des Moines, communicating with the biofuel producers and just the network of biofuel professionals that we have here in the state of Iowa. Continuum Ag is a proud member of the Iowa Renewable Fuel Association. We're part of multiple other biofuel groups and producer organizations and stuff as well. I'm just trying to make sure that we are helping out in these conversations wherever we can, collaborating to pull together farmers and biofuel producers. Still anticipating that 45Z is going to be an awesome opportunity for the collaboration between the farm and the supply chain, especially in the biofuel supply chain, and bringing those folks together to really capitalize on this market, capitalize on the financial opportunity, and utilize data to be able to have a better conversation. And that's what carbon intensity is all about in the CI Chit Chat. CI is carbon intensity. At Continuum Ag, we've been helping farmers get their CI score. It's with the GREET model that was developed by the Department of Energy, and you can get your CI score for free at topsoil.ag. So definitely want to take your questions here today. Happy to provide additional insights, but not a whole lot of crazy newness, but I do have some announcements to make here from our internal side. High level, we got some of the guidance out from the Biden administration before they left office, and it was basically from the IRS. We got a draft and a intent to issue guidance in pertaining to that draft. The biggest thing within it is that it says we're going to use the 45Z CF GREET model. That GREET model did get released the following week by the Department of Energy. So we do have that 45Z CF GREET model. The problem is it's missing a feedstock calculator. So there's still a lot of uncertainty in terms of how is the farmer component going to be tied in, or just the feedstock in general. Some of those feedstocks aren't necessarily coming from farms and aren't necessarily from corn and soybeans. But of course, for most of you on here and most of our network at Continuum, we're talking about the feedstock being corn and soybeans going into ethanol, biodiesel, renewable diesel, or what have you. It's those transportation biofuels that get the tax credit. So that feedstock calculator is still missing. I don't know what's going to happen there. I don't know when it's going to come out. The USDA created their own feedstock calculator. We like that it includes a lot more counties that are throughout the entire Midwest and really branching out further than that. So we like that they have included more counties, but it just overly simplified the practices and doesn't even include actual field yield, doesn't even include actual fertilizer amounts. So just some fundamental flaws within that new GREET model. They were trying to simplify things, but it's overly simplified, and you still have to collect all of the full data anyway, whether you're doing the USDA model or the Department of Energy model. What I mean by that is in the USDA's their MRV protocol, their verification protocol, essentially, they outline, hey, here's the practices that actually plug into this USDA feedstock calculator. And those practices are just cover crop, yes or no, tillage, are you conventional, reduced, or no-till, are you using a nitrification inhibitor, split in-season nitrogen only, no fall nitrogen. That's it. It's just those practices. But you still have to collect all the rest of the data as well, even though it doesn't plug into the GREET model. So you still have to collect actual yield and harvest information. You have to collect actual planting information, dates, as applied maps, all that good stuff. You still have to collect the actual rates of fertilizer applied, actual species and rates of cover crop applied. You still have to collect all of that full-blown information. So the data collection piece is still full bore. Like the data collection piece is still, you got to collect everything. But then they simplified the GREET model, which really just intuitively is not, it didn't actually do anything because you still have to collect all the data anyway. Might as well run it on an actual score. So that being said, the USDA public comment period is open right now. We are just about completed with our initial draft of our public comment. We're going to be sharing that publicly. We're also going to be communicating with some of our other folks that we want to align with in this space, including folks from the biofuel side of things, the commodity organizations, the CPA firms, the tax credit brokers, like just making sure that we're in alignment with these other groups, with a couple of our core talking points and public comment being use book and claim rather than a mass balance. The USDA is recommending mass balance, which is really bad for livestock producers, doesn't help to enable scale in this 45Z opportunity. And it's harder to track and can be more expensive to audit every single step in the chain. Not only, farmers potentially going through audits, but the elevators would all have to go through audits, and the ethanol plants will have to go through audits. It's just going to be more expensive, more of a pain in the butt, and therefore less money for anybody to participate and less incentive for folks to participate. And go into a book and claim, we've got the infrastructure set up through some of our partners, and it would be much more scalable, much better opportunity to book and claim. So that's really talking point number one. Talking point number two is don't use that new USDA feedstock calculator. Utilize the GREET calculator, which is what the law says. You're supposed to use something developed by the Argonne National Lab. We appreciate the USDA's efforts there, but they just kind of missed the mark. So we want to utilize the actual GREET feedstock calculator. And then we'll have a variety of other more nitpicky items of feedback and whatnot, but book and claim and use the GREET feedstock calculator. Those are the two main talking points. So I do want to take some time here, of course, to answer your questions. Hit me up with those, but I do want to kind of unveil something new that we've been working on here. So obviously at Continuum Ag, I've been very focused on the 45Z market, right? And the biofuel market, betting really hard on it. I've been all over the countryside, running the wheels off my truck and helping on emitting a bunch of carbon from flying airplanes all over the countryside. I spoke at 52 conferences last year, not quite as many as that the year before. I wasn't counting then, and already I think this one that I'm at right now is number 6 or 7 already of this year. So, I mean, definitely getting the word out there. But the 45Z market, from the farmers being able to be included, it's still unknown as to when that's going to come through, because we got to wait basically for DC, because the rules are not out there, they're not completed enough, and nothing is really, there's no clarity right now on how the farmers can participate in 45Z. Now, we did get a Secretary of Treasury in the last week and a half or so. Got Secretary of Treasury Scott Bassett confirmed. We did get the Secretary of Ag confirmed. So we at least have some better clarity on our leadership in DC. And each of them have said that they want to see 45Z through. They want it to happen. They want to get it launched, but it's going to take months and months to be able to do that. So at Continuum, we can't wait for only the 45Z market, at least not with the current approach that we've been on. So what we've been offering so far to our customers is what we call CI certification. We've been charging $7 per acre. There was some folks that got on and some early bird specials, but $7 an acre to get your scores, add your fields, add your activities, and full-blown get audited through the ISO standards that was laid out by the USDA. And we nailed it. And we do have tens of millions of bushels that are in the final stages of that audit. We're on track to have that completed by February 15th. We're working through the final piece of that with our third-party auditor eco-engineers right now. Really excited for how that has come together, and to be able to anticipate still issuing verified CI certificates. But the problem is that 45Z market, it's not fully there yet. I think there's some opportunity for pilot projects and for ethanol plants who do need to be starting to buy some of the data from their farmers or locking in contracts, but it's not going to be at scale here anytime soon. And for farmers, I do still think you're going to need to go through CI certification for your 2024 crop and for your 2025 crop. So I think it's still the right thing to keep going forward and doing that. But at Continuum, we are unveiling here for the first time a new initiative called TopSoil Connect, where instead of charging $7 an acre, we're charging $2 an acre. It's a penny a bushel to add your fields, start documenting all your practices, and get everything all put together where you can sign an attestation and create what the USDA calls a biofuel feedstock report. That'll be included here for the $2 an acre, penny a bushel, but we will not proceed with the third-party verification until a later point, and there will be a fee for that verification. Whether that fee be paid for by the farmer or your elevator or ethanol plant, that's where there's still a lot of unknowns. So for right now, it's like, well, let's just get all the data organized for $2 an acre, try to minimize the risk in this, try to minimize the cost and the burden to the farmer in this, but be able to keep moving things forward. With this TopSoil Connect program, we're calling it TopSoil Connect because we might be able to connect you with a lot more than only the 45Z market as well. We've proven out that we have been able to connect farmers in with other carbon credit programs, carbon insets and stuff, partnering with Arva and Nestle to be able to do that. We did a project with Parcel as well. We're connecting farmers in with that. Like there's other off takers of this data that I think I've been mostly keeping to the side, really trying to see 45Z through. But it's not here right now. It's still taking a long time. I don't know when it's going to fully be here, and I don't want to just keep waiting. So we're going forward with TopSoil Connect, $2 an acre to be able to get your data in, create your non-verified biofuel feedstock report, and connect you in with these different programs. So that being said, we are very much open for business when it comes to bringing in some of these off-taking programs. We've been able to create millions of dollars, help our farmers to participate in programs that create millions of dollars worth of carbon credits already. We've got millions of acres in the system that are interested, that are wanting to do something. So we're opening that up for more opportunity than only 45Z. And I think for a lot of you farmers too, you should have more choice and what kind of program you want to participate in. And I just don't know how long it's going to take until there's more money flowing from the biofuel producers. There's pilot projects going on. I think there's initiatives that will maybe come about. We want to connect with those. So we want this to be more open and collaborative where farmers or our network of folks or agronomists, what have you, you can basically invite in other programs or refer us to some of these off-taking opportunities where we can help recruit farmers, get the data organized, get it put together, put it through an audit if it needs to be put through an audit, or just collect all this farmer data in a more consistent, cohesive manner, try to ease the data collection and farmer communication burden by these programs, and at the same time open up more opportunities for our farmers to leverage their data and be able to get paid and participate in these initiatives. So TopSoil Connect, $2 an acre, ready here now. We're in the kind of pre-sale bit of this for the 2025 season. It is available for 2024 as well. So for farmers that were not necessarily wanting to spend $7 an acre for your 2024 crop to go through the whole audit and verification stuff, we have this $2 an acre program available to just get your data organized, get it put together in TopSoil where it's ready to go, but punt a little bit on actually paying for the audit and the verifications. You can wait and do that later if need be. Maybe nothing's going to happen for 2024. I don't know. But by law, 45Z is the law of the land. And it started on January 1, which means that it's the crop from last year. I still think that we're going to get rules put together, but it's going to be 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. I don't know. So we've got to open up other opportunities and be able to collaborate with that. So TopSoil Connect is our new program and process for being able to do that. So farmers being able to get your data organized for $2, penny a bushel, and be able to be in position to capitalize in whatever off-taking program there's going to be. So excited for it. I think it's the right move. I think it aligns well with what other companies in the space are doing. We want to be very collaborative to just focus on bringing value to the farmer. helping you to organize, monetize your data, get it verified where it need to be verified, protect it, and help you to get compensated for your practices and for your story. That's really what these companies are after, is that story, is that outcome, and we know how to do it and how to do it at a huge scale. But the off-taking opportunities with biofuel is just not here right now. The by law supposed to be, but it's not here right now. If you do have ethanol plants that are doing something, we are in conversation with multiple ethanol plants. I think there will be programs moving forward, but it's gonna be walk before we run because of the lack of clarity in DC at this point. So that's kind of the major update there. This TopSoil Connect. Would love to chat with you more on it or communicate with your Continuum Ag rep. We'd love your feedback on, do you think this is a good idea? Do you think it's not? Because on our side, it's all right. CI certification, it's the full-blown thing. Like, it is what's laid out by the USDA. Their recommended verification protocol and what we developed is like spot on the same. It was amazing. But I understand that it's a bigger dollar figure, it's a bigger risk, bigger hurdle to go over. So that's where we're trying to lower that barrier to entry for our farmers and still keep you moving forward in managing your data and being in position to enroll in whatever program you see fit. So yeah, would love more feedback on that. Would love your thoughts. And just trying to do what we can to position the farmers and be able to continue to operate a business ourselves here too. That we've got to be able to keep making this happen without raising a bunch of outside capital and trying to give up more and more of the control. We want the farmers to have the control. So that's why we're doing this. But anyway, yeah, would love any thoughts or questions on that. But let me I'll pivot into a couple things here. So thinking about as we go into this coming season, right? That whether it be with any of these data programs, they still are going to boil down to the same type of practices: the cover crops, the no-till or strip till, and nutrient stabilizers or better fertilizer management. So the other thing that we're looking at is, can we bring additional collaborators to you all? We call it preferred partners. We're expanding that network as well. That there's a lot of different ways you can reduce your carbon intensity or improve your sustainability metrics and your outcomes and whatnot. Whether that be through different equipment, changing practices like adding cover crops or reducing tillage, or just some of these biological stabilizers, different things that end up helping from a fertilizer management standpoint or a yield outcome standpoint. And those things all help to improve your CI score. So we are expanding out our preferred partner network, opening up the network opportunity there to connect farmers and these companies, be able to help to facilitate just moving your operation in the right direction, even beyond just the data and the verification stuff that we offer here at Continuum Ag. There's other ways, other tools out there, other companies that we align with that we want to connect you with as well. So just getting that preferred partner program rolled out, but you'll be able to have access to additional companies and players in and around the space. We've explored this for years, as far as being able to connect our network with some of these companies that we're buddies with. We're not going to be dealers for any of these companies. We're not going to be pushing product or anything. We've always stayed away from that. We're not going to be sales reps for these other companies. But at the same time, we at least want to connect you with companies and connect you with technologies that may be able to help your farm improve profitability and improve your sustainability metrics as well. So rolling that out through our preferred partner network, excited for that, and would love to have those conversations, or some of you companies that are on that we can collaborate with and connect, connect and not have to reinvent the wheel. We want to be able to do that here and bring more opportunity to the thousands of farmers that are on topsoil that are in our network. Make sure that we're continuing to bring value to them, even though we're waiting for more info about 45Z. So rolling that out, if you're interested in that, would love to chat. Or again, I think so much of this is about the farmer network too, right? That farmers, we do have the opportunity. We do know how to get this data put together. We've got a story to tell, and we need to keep on the gas pedal to make sure that we are telling that story, especially telling that story into the supply chain, or telling that story, um, to the folks in DC. Now we need to make sure that that we're keeping ahead of this, and farmers have a great story to tell. I got a question coming in here. What are two variables that affect carbon intensity? I think maybe they're talking about what are some of the biggest variables that affect your CI score. For most counties in the country, the biggest one is use a cover crop. Second biggest one is usually go to no-till or utilize manure. But cover crop, manure, and no-till or reduced till, those are really the big three drivers of reducing your CI score. After that, it's reduce your synthetic fertilizer, improve your yield, reduce your fuel usage, which for a lot of our farms there's an opportunity to just take the default there, because that one can be tougher to measure. But cover crop, reduce till, manure, those are the biggest drivers of reducing your carbon intensity score. At least in the GREET feedstock calculator, those are the biggest things that move the needle and improve your score. One of those items there being manure, and for some reason in the USDA feedstock calculator, they didn't include or mention manure at all. They don't mention any actual fertility products. They only say nitrification inhibitors, which is just a component of that category of stabilizers. But they overly simplified things, and didn't have manure included, even though it's a huge one, and an ability. The way that the Department of Energy's GREET model set up, it would really incentivize spreading the manure across more acres, helping from a water quality standpoint and a soil health standpoint to get that manure spread across more acres, and it would have created some great environmental outcomes. So that's where we're still pushing to utilize the actual GREET feedstock calculator for 45Z. It needs some improvements. It needs a little bit of fixing up, but it can still it's still the right tool to be utilized. So I think, why don't we wrap up? I need to get down to this conference here anyway. So in conclusion, we'd love to chat with you on thoughts and feedback on TopSoil Connect. Penny a bushel to get your data organized, $2 an acre. Punt a little bit on the actual audits and verification, even though we know how to do it. We're in the final 2 weeks of our first round of it. It went really well, and the feedback from the farmers has been like, hey, that wasn't that bad, and all the farmers went through the audit. The constant feedback was, yeah, that wasn't as bad as what I thought it was going to be. So that's been really encouraging. And it's a full-blown ISO, verification, but the way that we've got the data management stuff set up, it's not that big of a lift. We help you out through it. So, but yeah, would love your thoughts on TopSoil Connect. We'd love your thoughts on the Preferred Partner Program. We'll be back next Tuesday, continuing to drive more updates. The biggest thing being getting our public comment put out there. There's a lot of things that need to get finalized when it comes to 45Z, but at the same time, we're pushing forward on alternative routes to get farmers compensated for your story. We got a great story to tell. We want to help you to do it and bring you opportunity to drive forward your farming operation. So have a great rest of your day and rest of your week, everyone. We'll see you next Tuesday back here on the Chit Chat. Thanks.